Happy Wednesday, everybody. April 26, 2023. Welcome to Daily Stock Market Technical Analysis. And we nailed US 2000, which is Russell 2000. And before I go further, if you are enjoying the content, please hit the like button and share with your friends and family. Please subscribe to my video. It only takes 1 second to like it, and I'm sharing all content for free. So please appreciate that. And again, spread this channel as much as you can. All right. So US 2000 guys, you can check all my videos and you can see how nicely it's predicted this cycle. You can see I told you every day, I'm telling you, I'm giving you an update on US 2000. I told you guys this cycle low is coming. I'm expecting equal lows or lower low and then a bounce. Okay, you can see how nicely this is perfectly to the dot. This is a trend line. It came as high as that, touched it, and now it's selling off. This is, for those who don't know, this is IWM Russell 2000 ETF. This is 2000 companies which are smaller in cap, and this ETF, this fund, this index is based on the other 2000 company in US which are other than S&P 500. So S&P 500 is 500 mega cap. This is small cap. Okay, you can see now how nicely we are coming towards the final zone, and we could have like a quick capitulation kind of event if possible, and that will mark the bottom. Okay, so now there are two cycles here. First cycle is 8th of May and second cycle is 11th of May, so we're very close to the bottom. So if you're looking to buy, you should be looking to buy US 2000 fund. It's also IWM. This is the ETF if you want to buy. This is not leverage. Okay, so there is no leverage here. You can even buy 3x leverage, but I won't recommend that, but because that's more for aggressive traders. You can buy RWM, and in the long run we are looking for a bounce very soon. All right, so again, this is the cycle here. Again, next couple of weeks will mostly bottom, then a bounce. And one of the reasons it's selling is because of there are a lot of regional banks in this, and overall banking sector is dumping. Okay, also I want to show you XLF, which is financial ETF. You can see this is the reason why S&P 500 is going down, because I think it's, other than tech, financial is very heavyweight in S&P 500. You can see how nicely this also nailed the cycle. Okay, now next couple of days, this cycle low is coming around 4th of May, which is in line with Apple's earnings. But next couple of weeks, maybe a couple of days to next week, a little bit more sell off, and this could intensify, and then you should be looking to buy. Okay, so once we have this bottom, you can see how nicely now we're getting a cycle up. After that, there are two cycles going higher, so financials are getting very close to the bottom. So if you have cash left, look to buy financial sector. You can buy banks, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, whatever you like. They give high dividends, so it's going to be good for the long-term hold, and you're about to get a great opportunity to buy them. All right, so that's how we are doing. So I'm very happy. All predictions are going very nicely, and that's the reason S&P 500 is selling. And I want to show you now. Let's switch to S&P 500. Okay, now you can see this is I did not change anything. You can see this projection here. You can watch my videos. This is as it is. It's intact. I was expecting a bit of pump, but looks like that we will not get because of Russell 2000, because of this cycle low coming here. It's putting a lot of pressure on S&P 500, because when banks sell, it affects all the sectors, and it does affect US 5000 as well, which is S&P 500. You can see I told you guys, if you look at my videos from last couple of days, I told you this purple line is what is which is similar to US 2000. Okay, so I was expecting a dump, but I was expecting a dump a little bit later, but looks like now we are getting it. Okay, so now just wait, and we are about to get this buy zone. Now I want to show you something in this, my famous chart. This is my guide. No chart can beat this. Okay, this is like the best chart, greatest ever chart created. So you can see what's happening here. Now we're getting a dump. So we are getting a rotation. This could be around minimum 3% rotation. So now we are getting close to this yellow line. Okay, so what does that mean? So yellow line is around 4000. Okay, 4002. So this is a neutral zone, which is basically no one has advantage here. Bulls or bears, nobody have advantage. This is a neutral zone. The lower we go, bulls have more advantage. The higher we go, bears have more advantage. Okay, for example, here I was telling you guys, go check my videos. I was telling you guys we are in this sell zone. Okay, we should be only looking to take profits here, or looking to exit, or looking to short. Whoever listened to me, they must be very happy and made tons of money. Okay, so now we are now here. This is not the time to short. Okay, we could go lower to 4,000, and that will be the neutral zone. Okay, now it is possible we can get a little bit more dump, but the buy zone is between 4,000 and 38.42. All right, sorry, it's not that. The buy zone is between 38.42 to 36.82. So always look for purple line. So where is purple? Okay, top purple is 43.22 and bottom purple is 36.82. Both these lines are achievable in this year. Okay, we can go as high as 43.22, we can go as low as 38.22, but the best buy zone is around 38.42 to 36.82. And then okay buy zone is below yellow line. Okay, so the lower we go, you should start buying slowly. The lowest is purple line, that's where you should be putting all your cash in. But here is the neutral zone. Okay, so now we're getting close to the neutral zone, so you should be looking to short or above this dotted line. This is not the time to short. Okay, you can go lower again, little bit more lower, so it's around 40.80, so 1 or 2% more lower. So every percent is like 40 points, so now it's 40.80. So it can go as low as 4,000, which is 2% lower more, so that will be around 4.5% dip, and then it can bounce. All right, so we're getting very close to the neutral zone. There's no advantage to bulls or bears here. Okay, so again, don't look too short, only look too long below this yellow line. All right, so now you got my message, and let's go back to MES chart. Okay, same thing is here. Let's bring our moving averages back in, and then I don't think we need volume. Again, same thing here. So looks like now we're getting very close to this. Let's look at SPY, which is much cleaner. To look at the gaps. Okay, you can look like if I go to 1 hour chart, we filled a gap. I wanted to show. Let's get rid of sessions, extended hours. We don't need that. And then auto zone. Okay, there was this gap here. Let me find that gap. It was here, I think, this gap here. Okay, this gap was around 408. Okay, this gap here, small gap, this was filled. Okay, and again now we are actually, we even filled this other gap. Okay, wow. Okay, so if we even fill this gap, you can see this gap here, this gap is also filled. All right, now we left a big gap here around 412, and now there are two other gaps. Okay, so the bottom gap, this is a big gap around 395, and then there's another gap around 401. All right, so now we are kind of in the middle of gaps. I want to show you something. If you draw a Fibonacci retracement, okay, this is S&P 500 SPY. Let's draw from low to the top. All right, so you can see anywhere between 0.5, which is 397, to 0.618, which is 392. Okay, this is the area to buy. All right, let me draw a rectangle here. Okay, so this area is the buy zone. All right, so let me get rid of this Fibonacci. So I don't think market is going to crash. So if it gets to here, this zone here around 395, there's also a gap fill, and also this is like the golden pocket for Fibonacci. Look to buy here. Okay, so it is possible we can go and sell off. So from here, it's around 2.5%. Okay, so around 2%, which is very in line with the 2 points bottom here. So this yellow line, if we have 2% down, it will be around 4,000. So very similar to that, it's going to be around 395 for SPY, 2% down. That will be a good area to buy. All right, so look to buy around that zone. All right, so that's my ideal scenario. And then if that happens, we'll fill both of these gaps. There will be no gap left to the bottom, only gaps will be left to the top. All right, so that's what I'm expecting. Let's look at VIX. So VIX is now basically 0.48% doji candle. Now, Facebook released some awesome earnings. It was up around 11%, so it's possible tech can drive it higher, and we will have a sell-off in VIX tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But I'm really worried about financial sector because financial sector now we're getting a pressure in to sell off. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on S&P 500 to go to not go up. So that's the only thing. But VIX is still below this $20 and then also below this red line, which is 50 daily SMA line. As long as it's below that, everything is good. So we can get a dump and then we can get a double bottom and then a pump on VIX. All right. Now moving to Nasdaq MNQ. Let's go to 1 hour chart on US 100. This is a futures for Nasdaq. Let's go to AutoZone. You can see what's happening here. Yesterday I drew a box here, and looks like so it was like this. Okay, something like this. All right, and then let's extend this box. Now we're below it. Okay, so it looks like I was expecting a pump to the top of the channel, but they broke down, they brought it back in, and then it broke down again, back tested it and then broke down. It's possible if we go back in this channel tomorrow, it's quite possible we're going to go towards the top of the range. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is this is not the time to be too bearish in this market. Okay, the time to bearish was at the top here. Let's go to daily chart. The time to go bearish was at the top here when we had this crossover. So and it's very good, getting very close to this support line here. It can dip a bit more and then bounce. Let's go to triple Qs. Let's go to 1 hour chart and see what's happening here. You can see we had a gap up, still did not fill the gap. Okay, you can see this gap is still not filled. Even top gap is not filled. This gap is filled, which was I think no, this is the new gap here. This gap is still not filled. 307. So a gap at the top, a gap at the bottom. Let's go to daily chart. So it's possible we can come down, fill these gaps, 307, and then go up. There are multiple gaps to the top side also here. So it's in the middle of gaps. All right. So it's quite possible from here we can go down a bit. Now, since most Amazon is tomorrow, we can go down a bit and then go up. Okay, that will be in line with the S&P 500 bottoming. Let's go to SPY. That's in line with S&P 500 bottoming, filling this gap and then bouncing. Okay, so that's what I expect on Nasdaq 100. Also, I want to show you something here on this chart. Since we're talking about MNQ, you can see this chart. This is the Nasdaq chart. This purple line is this is for Nasdaq. We're getting very close to the purple line at the bottom. This is not the time to short. Time to short is here. Okay, this is a time to buy. All right, so we're getting very close to the buy zone. Only look to buy here, not look to short. All right, so that should be telling you we're very close to the bottom, and then we should be looking to buy and hold here. All right, US 30. Again, I was expecting a pump, but looks like this was already happened here. But now, since we are getting this dump, I'm not looking to short. So if we take some clues from S&P 500, we can find support here and then bounce. So this support can come on this 200 SMA. Okay. Also, worst case, it can even go this trend line, but that will be really crazy. It can go as deep as that, but I'm preferring it find support around 200 SMA and then bounce. Already covered US 2000, so you know what's happening. Let's go to natural gas. It came very close to filling this gap on 1 hour. All right, still did not fill this gap here around 2.27. So I'm looking for this gap to fill before a bounce. So from here, if we get a sell-off tomorrow, it's about 3.5%. Okay. Actually, the bottom gap, if you get a sell-off from here to here, it's about almost 4%. All right. So I should get rid of this one. This is the one which is the major gap. Okay. So if we get that sell-off, look to buy that. All right. That's the natural gas. Crude oil, I think it's filled the gap today. You can see this gap here is filled, totally filled, and also this is how very nicely it's predicting the cycle bottom here. So more sell-off is coming. Okay, there is now it's very close to this support around 73. You can see this support, 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 support. Now we're back on support, so we can little bit bounce and then we can sell off. But I'm looking for new lows, equal lows or new lows. It can even go as low as 60. All right. So that's very bearish on oil. All right. Bitcoin is like flip-flopping. Okay, it was up. If I show you 1 hour chart, in couple of hours it's dumped. So Bitcoin dumped in couple of hours from 30,000 to um, 27,000, almost 9.5% dump, like straight down. I don't know why. I'm not even sure if there was any news about that. So I don't know what's going on in the six. What happened? Okay, so there was some news here, uh, but I know, uh, not sure what's going on there. But okay, so now it's going up, but it's gonna be, even if it goes up, it's gonna be on negative divergence on PPO and RSI. All right. So you can see even if it goes up to new highs, it's going to be with negative divergence. Let's go to look at 1 hour chart. There's no negative divergence. So now if we make a new high, there's going to be negative divergence. Okay. So keep in mind. And again, if I go to Bitcoin futures, this is the buy zone here. Okay. So if I expect more dump on S&P 500, Bitcoin should help with that. And then we should be buying here. Okay. This is the buy zone around I think around 26,000 to 23,400. Okay, this is the whole area's buy zone. Came very close to that, and now it's bouncing. Also, this red 50 SMA is also finding support here, so it's bouncing based on that. Ethereum, again, very close to the support area. We're a little bit bouncing. We can dump back. The cycle low is coming around 8th of May, so it's possible we can come down again. Okay, and then bounce. So keep in mind. Dollar index, again, dead, uh, looking for new lows and bottom around 11th of July. So more sell off I'm looking for dollar. Gold was, I think, a little bit up, but it's just chopping around. So looking for dump. It could be making a bear flag. Okay, so this cycle low is coming around 10th May. So once we are here, that's going to be good opportunity to buy. All right. So look to buy gold around this area, around 1920. Silver will follow gold, and again looking to buy around 23. All right. And wheat futures were down again. It's in this channel uh, with no positive impact yet. So you can see it's going in this channel. This is a bullish channel. Basically it can pop any day and then it's gonna be a massive move upside. I want to see divergence on RSI, still not seeing it. So maybe we need to see some more action towards the downside before it bounces. All right. Palladium, again, is bouncing from our buy zone. Okay, so look at here. Now it's bouncing from buy zone, but my ideal scenario, if I go to weekly, I really want to see a new low. You can see there's still some time around August, so we could get like a little bit more dump. I want to see a new low with divergence on. Okay, actually, let me see. RSI is showing some divergence now here. Let's see if it made a new low. Okay, here we made a new low. RSI showing divergence. So it looks like it could have bottomed already. All right. So you can see, let me double check. This was a new low with divergence on RSI. PPO is still not showing divergence. So it looks like we might have already bottomed on this. All right. So what that means is it's a good time to buy palladium. Okay. So we might have bottomed here. This is the area to buy and it's bouncing. So look to buy palladium. You can buy SPPP. SPPP. This is the Palladium Trust. This is a good one to buy. All right. Now the mortgage rates, basically they were bouncing. Now there's multiple gaps to the top, multiple gaps to the bottom. But if we have some sell-off more, it could pump to fill this gap, but eventually it's going to come down to fill these bottom gaps. So I'm very bearish on that. All right. Bonds, again selling. It's following the cycle. So again, if I draw an arrow, there's like cycle low coming very close to the cycle low, and then this gonna bounce. All right. So looking for a little bit more weakness in bonds, and also it's on above this 200 SMA, this blue line. As long as it's above this 200 SMA, I think it's good to find support here and then bounce. Let's quickly look at other sectors. Gold miners, same as gold. Looking to buy gold miners around 1920 when gold reaches that. Nothing changed. XLE, which is energy sector, as I'm expecting weakness in oil. Looks like it still did not fill. Let's go to 1 hour chart and check this gap. This gap is, let's quickly make sure we are not missing anything. So this gap is still not filled, all right. And now there's a gap to the top, so expecting some more weakness. Okay, my ideal scenario will be this massive gap to fill here. All right, XLU, massive candle, a gap created. Now there are multiple gaps, so looking for at least this another gap to fill, and 65.9, and this is the other gap to fill before a bounce. XLV, massive gap down. Again, there's a gap here, now gap up, maybe a little bit more sell-off and then bounce in line with S&P 500, like maybe it will fill this gap and then bounce, all right. XLF already covered. XLI, again, massive gap down. Actually, it filled this gap, so let's get rid of this. So again, looking for a little bit more sell-off and then bounce, all right. So it can find support here and then bounce. So we'll see how that goes. Real estate sector, massive gaps to the downside, looking for those gaps and then bounce. Tesla, very bearish. It's in the golden pocket. This is the buy zone. I added it here 148.97 to 135. If you draw a Fibonacci, you can see how I got that. Fibonacci, you can see exactly 149 to 136. Okay, so this is the buy zone, very close to that. So also cycle low is coming around May. So again, this is all accumulation range. If you go to 1 hour chart, you can see we're now having a bearish RSI, bullish momentum on RSI and PPO. So that's an early sign of reversal. You can draw a trend line if you want to trade this trend line like this. So whenever it breaks that, that's your buy signal. All right, that's on Tesla. Again, only one gap left here. It entered this gap. If I zoom in a bit, this gap is entered. You can see this gap here. Let's hide these lines. See this gap? Now it's entered, and this gap will be filled around 146. So most likely they will fill this gap and then make it bounce. All right. So that's on Tesla. Apple is holding it pretty nicely, I think. This is Apple holding. Oh no, actually it broke down. So it back tested this 10 MA green one, and now it's still above this 20, this white line, which is 20 EMA, still above that, but it's below the channel. But it's not an impulsive sell-off yet. Okay, so it's gonna hold till earnings, and then probably it's gonna make a decision based on that. Google was flat, had a good result, but still fat, so very worried. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. So if I expect a little bit of more weakness, then it can like sell off a little bit more and then fill these gaps. Okay. Microsoft was up, massive gap now left behind. Okay. So you can get rid of this. And now there's another gap here. Let's go to 1 hour chart. See, massive gap up. Okay. So it's bullish in general, but the only thing is you can see we have a gap up with still these momentum indicators are not broken. You can see it's still PPO is low, and you can still see RSI is low. So it's not bullish. Okay, we have a new high with bearish momentum on PPO and RSI, so it's possible we can come to fill this gap and then bounce. So be aware of that. Okay, so it's possible we can come to fill this gap and then bounce. All right. Snowflake again. Uh, Gap up based on Microsoft. So again, I don't see any divergences yet, but looking bullish. Now there's a gap down, gap up. Most likely it will fill gap up first. Meta was up heavily, basically after hours. Good earnings. Look at this, 3.4. Oh wow, look at this. EPS reported, because they laid off so many people, bought share back, 8.8% upside, and then revenue is also 3.5. Awesome results on Meta. Highest price in a year, revenue growth, they cut their cost a lot. All right, so now looks like we'll have a massive gap up. Also, there are multiple gaps here as well. So I'm not sure if we're gonna. I think it was up more than 11%. So let's see from here. 11%. Okay, so 11% is still not this gap. So maybe they want to fill this gap. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, things are looking good for Meta. That's gonna probably put some upwards pressure in market tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Amazon is tomorrow. So again, it's not able to find to close above this 200 SMA, this blue line. As long as it's below that, it's time to dump. Okay, but earnings is tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. If earnings are good, look at all these massive gaps to the upside to fill. Okay, so it's possible if earnings are good, we will be starting to fill these gaps. But if earnings are bad, we'll come down and fill these bottom gaps. Netflix was down again in the middle of two gaps. So also this is very close to this trend line. So look to buy off this trend line, support trend line. Nvidia, um, this gap, let's see if it's filled. No, so this gap is still not filled. Nvidia earnings are still a bit far here around 24th of May. So not really sure. It's not selling off. Market is holding up nice, but ideally it's good to have some sell-off to buy again later on. So if I do a Fibonacci, this is a good area to buy around 0.618, 182 to around here, around 197. Okay, this is a good area to buy between around 200 bucks. All right, get a sell-off. That's gonna be good area to buy Nvidia, and eventually we will get a sell-off, but I don't know when. AMD was up again. Earnings are around the corner. Earnings are 2nd of May, so now it's dumping. Probably it's gonna pump after earnings. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. Okay, guys, I think I covered a lot of sectors today. If you're still here, please hit like button on your way back, and have a good rest of the day and have a happy Wednesday. Take care.